You can't ask me that. Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm here, born and bred here, so I didn't need no kind of green card, nothing like that. Mhm. Yes. Yeah. Let me call you back. You gonna be awake for in about an hour? Well, all right. Well, I'll call you back in an hour. I got to do this for my church. Uh, thank you. I'll call you back. Bye bye. Hey y'all. I'm going to unshare the screen. Stop it if it will let me. Oh, okay. Cancel. Here we are. Here I am showing my face. Hello to Rhonda Cox. To, let's see who else is up in here. Phyllis Rowan, Kathy W. Hi, sweet Sharon Sipe. Phyllis, oh, there you are, Phyllis. I said hello. K. Muldoon. Did I say Kathy W yet? Hey, Kathy. Keisha Harris. Uh, just thank you so much, all of you, for coming over. Um, by the title, you already know what we're going to be discussing, or what I'm going to be talking about anyway. It's not really a discussion. Why? Because I haven't upgraded StreamYard so I can get y'all in the screen. I think that is such a cool feature. We began with Wave Rider by my sweetie pie, my brother from another mother, Kimo Cornwell, who has been a guest here, who, long time friend, and uh, quite the arranger, keyboard player. I mean, he's just magic. He's just wonderful to work with. Well, I did have my first eye surgery, so my left eye has had the cataract removed, and the right eye comes on the 17th of this month. I don't know about any of you, but I had this real sense of anxiety this week. It was like I was just anxious, and I know some of it had to do with the surgery, I'm sure, because I was a bit anxious about it, and everything was successful. There's a little stress at the surgeon's office, which was eventually worked out. Insurance companies are sometimes just shit. Um, but it's done, and I'm happy, and I can't wait to get the other eye fixed so that I don't have to wear glasses anymore. I've worn them all my life. So I don't have to do that anymore. And it is indeed a beautiful, beautiful thing. Um, yeah, I saw what the title is. And this is for entertainment purposes only. Uh, YouTube, and I've used this music with the permission of the arranger, composer, performer, Kimo Cornwell. I have his permission to play his music, which is wonderful. I wanted to tell my story, and I've decided that this will be the last time that I speak about my personal story. And it's for those who are anti-abortion, for those who care about the life of a child in the womb, and who oftentimes throw away the child once it gets here. You don't want to, if a child comes from a family that's struggling, you don't want free lunches. If a woman needs help after having the baby, she has assistance, and she's a burden on the system. You don't care about children. I've worked with abused and damaged children. So I know personally, working with these children, bonding with these children, what happens to a child when they aren't wanted, when the mother doesn't want them. And I would encourage all of you anti-abortion people to watch the Netflix show about a little boy named Gabriel Hernandez, who was literally stomped and killed by his mother and her boyfriend. And as he lied bleeding on the bathroom floor, his mother tells his sister to go in and clean up the mess. The system failed this little boy. It was because of an observant teacher that defects got involved, because he began showing up at school with the whole side of his face blackened and red from being punched in the face. And why? The mother said upon his birth that she did not want him. So an uncle and his partner who'd wanted children said that they would take Gabriel. And they did, and he was thriving. He was a happy little boy. But if memory serves, the mother's family told her she needed to get him back because he would become a faggot. He would become gay, like gay is a disease. That it's because he's being reared by two loving gay men, somehow that's who he's going to be. I would urge you to go to some foster care facilities to see children that are ready to age out of the system with no family, don't know if they have any place to go. They've only known foster care. And then because no one has fostered them, adopted them, or, they just age out of the system. Visit a home of foster parents who are abusing the child. And instead of just taking somebody's word for it, if the child is neglected, do something about it, because you can. Don't just throw it away. So for those of you that are against abortion, I guess it doesn't matter if a child is abused, unwanted. Many years ago, I was brutally raped. I was living in a beautiful part of Los Angeles in a lovely cottage behind a mansion. It was said that this particular cottage was the home of some old movie stars, that Charlie Chaplin had stayed there, that William Holden had stayed there, and some other people who were actors and had gone on to very successful acting careers lived in this cottage. It was lovely. One night I was coming home from work, and the one thing that used to trouble me that I asked them to do is to put some lights out in the back along the path, because I had to come up a driveway and down a path which was pretty dicey. So they needed to put some of those lights up so that I could see where I was going. And on this night, I'm coming home from work. I was working for an architectural firm, one of the leading architectural firms in the world, really. I was happy about being there, and I was happy in my life. So I get through the front door of the cottage. Now, the other thing that it didn't have was a light switch at the door. You had to walk across the room to turn on the light. And before I could do it, I was snatched or stopped. And I froze because I wasn't expecting a visitor. And especially this one. And he proceeded to do what he knew he had the advantage, bigger than me. He had a weapon, a knife. And it was as if I left my body and astrally projected so that I was looking down on what was happening. I think he initially broke into steal because it was a lovely part of town, and I guess he thought there were some precious items in there or something. I'd just begun to decorate it. So when he left, there was a threat. And just enough of a it was the scar was on this side, just enough pressure to the knife to open the skin, so it bled, to let me know that I better not tell anyone. After several hours had passed, I got myself together enough to go to LAPD to report what had happened. And the cop that I was talking to talked to me as if, what were you wearing? I was coming in from work. I was wearing my clothes I wear to work. Well, were you wearing a shirt with that button that's... I said that to say that you become further victimized, because I went through all the steps, and I doubt very seriously that the rape kit was ever processed. And then about 3 months later, 1 month, my period didn't show up. And because I got out of that place immediately, I packed up everything. If I had to give, I gave some things away. And because at that time, a friend had come from Hawaii and was inviting me to return to sing, to work. So that was on time. And I absolutely needed to get away. So I go for an exam. I go to Hawaii. I go for an exam, and life is great. We're singing, it's wonderful. And I go for an exam, and the doctor comes back in and he says, "Congratulations, Miss Harnad, you are pregnant. You're expecting." Whew. And I started crying, and he asked me what the matter was. I told him, and that because of the way the child was conceived, I'd like to do the A thing, I won't tell you about the rest of it, but that's quite enough, because we know that states are enacting laws now so that there is no exception to rape or incest in these laws that are criminalizing women. You become a criminal. So, we see that some of the rights, we're concerned about Roe v. Wade being overturned and thrown out and kicked out, and states having the power to tell you what you can and cannot do They've gotten all up in your private business, and now this is not the only thing that will happen. Of course, everything that any president has put in place in past years that have become law, it can be changed. So that's why it's so important that we get out and we vote in these state elections. If there are any state elections happening where you are, by all means, confirm your registration. By all means, vote. There are women who would have or could have an ectopic birth, which would kill both she and the baby. I glanced over a story of a 12-year-old pregnant, standing next to a grown-ass man. He could have been her grandfather, even her great-grandfather, just a dirty bastard. 12 years old. Imagine what will happen to her tiny body. So for the anti-abortion people, I'm so sick of you. I'm so very, very sick of you, because you are out here being judgmental. You are out here judging women who have to make the most difficult decision in their life. I know it was for me. I'm not saying that there aren't women who may abuse it. There are always abusers. But for many, if not all, it is a difficult decision to make. You don't just waltz into a clinic or a hospital, in my case, and ask that be done. You have to be counseled. There was lots of counseling, because what I was about to do went against everything I'd ever been taught. Everything. So it's not fun. It's not something that you can just do. And while you're all screaming about Planned Parenthood and birth control, think about the other services that Planned Parenthood offers. Desperately needed health care for women who may not be insured, because, of course, our health care system is truly fucked. We got to start with the ACA. I pray that they massage it and take a strong look at it. And if there anything that is a flaw or considered to be a flaw, that it's fixed. Because without it, I wouldn't be here. Because I was out of work. I needed surgery. I'd been to every emergency room in this city. And at the last time, the doctor just made it clear it needed to be repaired. So vote. If you feel like protesting, get out there and protest. My cousin gave me the ratio of she said to me, which surprised me, that there's so many Black women who rely on, well, I'm not surprised that Black and brown women rely on Planned Parenthood, but that in many cases they are getting abortions. I don't know to what extent, because when I was growing up, it was not at all. Growing up and well into adulthood, it was never a consideration to abort a child within the Black community. If someone had a baby out of wedlock, the grandmother would deal with the baby, and auntie, a cousin, somebody was going to come in and help you with the baby, even if it meant the baby living with them. It just wasn't customary for us to run to an abortion clinic. It just wasn't. I don't know how things have changed. I really don't. Everything has changed. Shit. The next second, we're changing every second. But I didn't, I didn't know that. What I know is that if we don't get out and fight and do everything that we can, if we don't get out and I know I'm tired. I'm certain many of you are tired. If you've been watching the news or just you know around people who look as if chaos is ruling them, chaos is in their homes. We have to, we have to stand strong, and because of the beauty of the divine feminine, just the beauty, of the divine, it's fertile, it's life giving, it's an amazing energy, that even though, because it is loving, it's demonstrative love, not just saying the word. It's embracing us, and it's being felt. It's being felt. I think that's probably why so many people are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, because it's so deeply spiritual that it's confusing to them, because there's some people who are so comfortable walking around in the dark that they would rather try to snuff the light out instead of surrendering to it, if that makes sense. So, queens, we got to get up and get busy, because I would hate that anyone endures what I did, or hundreds of thousands of women around this country. If you're my wife, I can. It's not rape. The person who was the man who is running in Ohio and who thankfully lost, is on a Zoom call or something, and states, I told my it's, and I paraphrase, that his daughters, if they find themselves in a rape situation, are just to lay back and relax. So that, I've said it before, that says a lot about how he makes love. Yeah. So it's disturbing a lot of people. They don't know quite, uh, they don't know what's going on, and they won't until they surrender to the light. It's a wonderful place to be, walking in light, showing up as light. So I'm not going to keep you long. I'm going to get the oracle, because it's getting late. And I know that Sharon Sipe, I love you. Hi, Jaconda. I love you so much. I'm going to read some of your comments. Let me get my cards. It's kind of cool to be able to see at long distances. It's a little wonky now, because one eye is working and one is not. Well, it is operating. It's different. So let's see what the beautiful oracle has for us. And if any of you have been feeling a little uneasy or something, if there's some planetary movement, I'm sure of it, you'd have to go into someone who really understands astrology to get the tea, because I don't know about, I've heard Pluto mentioned, and Libra and Aries, and I've heard things that I keep trying to retain, but you have to go to the experts. Hogarth, Marianne from Revealing Light. I don't know who else, who are readers that also give tarot. Marianne produces teroscopes. And in the future, I know I've said it before, but we're going to have two beautiful shows coming up. And it'll be it'll be passionate. The one with members of the LGBTQIA community, of which I'm aligned with the B, sexually fluid. I like to use, sounds sexier. It'll be spirited because one of the guests is fire, okay? Yeah, so let's read some comments first. We'll start from the bottom and I'll work my way up. Yeah, they certainly would, Jaconda. That's right. They would be, if that might be what takes them to come to their senses. Everyone just shut it down. You'll be with Miss Palm and her $5, jerking off in towels and stuff, or you will go find you somebody that you can pay, because you're not getting no punani here. How could a man tell his daughters such a thing? How insensitive. Okay. Kathleen, welcome. She says she's outraged, as we should be. I want them to go hard, and I really want them to go hard. And the reason he couldn't, I don't know what happened to Obama in his first year or 2 years as president. I know there was something that Chuck Schumer turned his back on, and you never turn your back on the leader of your party. I have never trusted a man. I find him to be repulsive. I don't think he's a good guy. So I am. And just the way the women showed up, nasty girls showed up after the demon spawn was sitting in the Oval. Women from all around the world were out. They were like ants. They were out, standing silently. So don't give up on the Democrats. I want them to be decent, but they need, everything they do is going to look political. So they needn't worry about anything looking political. That will always be the spin. And the other thing about President Obama's presidency is that none of those racist ass people, Mitch McConnell, Saxby Chambliss from Georgia, Johnny Isaacson from Georgia, who were filing papers to have him ejected from the presidency because of his birth, that whole birther bullshit. No white man was going to cross the aisle and work with him. No white man. They wanted him to be a one-term president, and it surprised them that he was not. And by that time, he'd lost the Senate and the Republican and the House in the midterms. He did many things and had to do it via executive order. How could Mitch McConnell stand before him and tell him that he would never get a judge on the Supreme Court, and that he was proud he said it? I hope that gravel mouth son of a bitch gets a chance to swallow those words. Don't just keep flooding your people with text messages, phone calls. You can always go to their websites and get a telephone number, leave numerous messages so that they get it. Because I agree, they're not playing hardball. Jaconda says that we said that. Did I say you before? Yeah, I did. You put another one in. Patriarchy, yes. That is exactly what is, it is frightening in that it is, government mandated pregnancies. What are you doing in my bedroom? We have lived under this patriarchy long enough, and it may take the whole motherfucking thing just being burned down in order to rebuild. We have to make sure that they don't get a chance to celebrate at their cocaine and sex parties for entertainment purposes only. Thank you, Maddie Cawthorn. You're having your share of the blues. See, Kathleen, it is a tool. It's religion, because religion is control. It's not about God. It's not about the Holy Spirit. It's about control. And you're absolutely right. It's just time to go. Yes, Jaconda. I mean, it's too serious. It's too painful. It's ugly. It's just too ugly. It's just too ugly. And it's not only is it, I know for me it was the most difficult decision I have ever made. And I have to live with it, tonight, if you all watched Adrian and Tony and Johnny reading the March horoscopes, I mean, it's always a kick over there. It's always, I mean, there's always a party going on when those three get together. When she was talking about Libra, it's about letting go of something. I think it was Tony too. Just to let go of whatever I've been hanging on to. So I have to have that be done and dusted. It can be disheartening, but we're going to keep on soldiering on. We're going to keep on soldiering on. We're not going to let this keep us down, because women are just too mighty. Queens are just too mighty. Women are the empaths. Women are the producers. They are the ones who give life. Women are the ones who have worked the hardest for the least pay. Women are the backbone. We are the backbone to every man that has ever succeeded. He's always had the presence of a strong woman. We are the backbone, not just of our, your own man, but of the world. Women should be being revered for just how wonderful they are. I guess Mother's Day they do it. But any caring mother knows that Mother's Day is every day, baby. Every day. It's a full-time gig. We pray and we keep vibing on what and seeing what it is we want it to be. We already know what we don't desire to happen. And so because and so knowing what you would the outcome you would like to experience is opposite side. It's the opposite side of the coin. We have to continue to focus on what we do want, what we do desire, personally and for the world. And if any of you haven't visited Tony's page, Shining Heart Healing, go to her page and write a prayer. Write a prayer. Take a few moments. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be a fancy prayer, a wordy prayer. Even if it's just, Lord, have mercy. That in and of itself is a prayer. Lord, have mercy. Patience. I don't know about you, but I think I felt like I ran out this past week and a half. I felt like I ran out of patience. I really do. And here we are being instructed to be patient. On the bottom of the deck, it says acceptance. I take this to mean, because the card is so pretty, that acceptance of standing in the light, of breathing in the light, of actually being the light. Standing in the way of the creator of the heavens and of the earth, who has infused every cell of our body. Well, actually, light is coating every cell. So it doesn't mean that that we have to accept things as they are. And if you are struggling with yourself, come on back, love on yourself. Give yourself permission to love on yourself. Yeah. Let's see what else. Creation. Enjoy the beauty of the day. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is in me. Bless his holy name. Bless the beauty of the creation of what Adrian would call Mama Earth. Bless the creation. I found that as edgy, I was really on edge all week, and it was also making me very tired. However, when I got up to walk out and just enjoy the beauty of spring, the lushness of the bushes and the trees coming back, they were once like bald, they looked like they were sick. And now they're in their full plumage, if you will. And the birds are back singing, singing. Bless the creation. Bless creation. Honor the earth, the life-giving and life-sustaining earth. Again, we keep getting gratitude, don't we? This message comes often, doesn't it? just often. So we have 4 cards. We have patience. Excuse me, can you see it? We have patience. As we await the light, the acceptance of it, we anticipate it here in patience. And here we are. The light is waiting for us. It's always been there. Bless the creation. Now is the time to nourish and bless the creation. Every step you take, bless your way, bless your way. Every step you take. Simply enjoy the beauty of each day, whether it's overcast and kind of moody, whether it's raining. Don't get pissed off with the rain. It nourishes our fertile land. It nourishes Mother Earth. It's the Father pouring out his nourishment to Mama so that she continues to thrive. And the last card, we've had it every time, gratitude. I'm talking to myself. I was having a tough time. And I had to apologize for not showing gratitude. I was looking at the creation card. For not showing gratitude for everything. Everything. Knowing that we're going to have issues every day, we can just announce that no matter what it is, 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 no matter what it is. We will look forward with great anticipation and excitement for the good that comes from everything, even in the chaos. We have a great deal to be grateful for. We are not at war. We do have our internal problems here, and it feels like it. But when I think of war, I think of the countries Ukraine, Yemen, Ethiopia, all the countries that are now at war. That's not what's happening here. We are experiencing a revelation. We are experiencing uh, the Holy Spirit in full force, full effect, pulling us up higher, higher and higher. And it's a beautiful thing. And I know y'all know about it. We can, and we will turn this all around. And we will pray for our party that they beef it up, that they get out and talk about what they have done in just the short time he's been in office. Talk about it, call it out, and vote. For those of you who have children, I've run into some young people who don't seem to think that any of our past history has worked or done anything. How ignorant of them to think, to insult the ancestors, to insult those who put their lives on the line for you so that you could live like this. How dare you? You stand on the shoulders of giants. Get your ass out, register, and vote. Because if your vote didn't mean anything or didn't count, why do you think the white supremacist patriarchal group, WASPs, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant men, are attempting to make it difficult for you to vote on purpose? Get out and do it. And we can argue about what has been or isn't. Oh, a car just flipped over. It's resistance. Let go. You see how clenched that fist is? Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. It's standing between you and true unity with the Holy Spirit. Because you have a clenched fist. You're hanging on to stuff that isn't servicing you anymore. Let it go. Let it go. So it's almost 11 o'clock, and I promised I wouldn't keep you long. I thank all of you so much for coming on. Davion from Conscious TV, Queen Tulsa. I'm hoping to get one more guest to come on. Another YouTuber that I have grown to truly love, Heart of Inspiration. Check her out. I'd like to have her on the panel, so I have to hurry up and upgrade my shit so that I can have them all on a panel and we can bring some understanding to and just bring some love. You know what I mean? My desire and my hope is that people will allow this to be a teachable moment on all ends for everyone, that we remain respectful of the trans women that I've invited and the trans men, that we listen more than we begin to judge. You see, that judgment thing is going wild. People praying prayers of judgment. Has it ever occurred to you to speak with a woman who has made, I think I said that might sound repetitive, speak with someone who is preparing to have the A word. Speak to a woman. Listen to her. Hear her. Instead of judging. There's scripture that says, judge not lest ye be judged. Because with that same judgment that you meted out, that same hammer that you put down on somebody, you're going to be judged in that manner. And so, stop it. It's not Christian. You ought to know better. We're about bringing comfort to people that are outcast. We're about loving and embracing the whole of God's humanity. We're to wrap our arms around the entire humanity. Embrace them. The entire, everyone. And do it in love. Gotta do it in love. Because in 1 Corinthians 17, we're told that if we don't have love, nothing you do, nothing you say, nothing you give, none of that matters without love. It all becomes as sounding brass and tinkling cymbals. Though I speak with the tongue of men and angels and have not love, I am as sounding brass and tinkling cymbals. It's just noise. It's time now for us to demonstrate. Time for us to act in love. So the next time I come on, it'll be a more joyful video. I'll do it kind of early when I'm relatively fresh. I just had this on my mind today, and I just had to say something. I know that, my platform is small and it may not go far. You can, like, share, subscribe if you feel like my information, if you'd like to donate to help take me up to the next step, or just because there's my information is there. I'm going to come on with something a little bit more jazzy, a little bit more happy. This was done on a hunch. It was like something in my gut was saying that I had to get out. It was good for me. It was cathartic because then I could release what happened to me all those years ago. That I can release it. I can release it in love. I know I am forgiven. That I just release it. That it's not serving me anymore. Let's see what Phyllis Rowan says. Yes, conscious can go. He can go. But he's such a loving young man and such a spiritual being. He really is a good guy. He really is. And he stands in the gap for the women's. I'm here to tell you. Some of his videos are long. However, they're always lively. And it's a safe platform so people can come on and say speak their minds. And we don't all expect to agree. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Check him out at Conscious TV, spelled CONSCIOUZ TV. If you sometimes come over and check him out. And he's a lot of fun. Oh, he's a lot of fun. He can be very ratchet. And I love it. I love it when he goes in on a read because he goes in deep. He'll read your ass down to your DNA strand. So he's an expert in that. So I'll come on again. It probably will be around Wednesday. I'm working on a project and I have a deadline that I have to meet. So I'll come on next Wednesday. I'm hoping about 7. I like to come on. I check to make sure that none of our favorites are uh, also up, they're also getting videos done because I enjoy watching them as much as you all do. So I try to check to see who's doing what. So that's it, queens. Welcome to the queendom. Yes, 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 yes. And I will see you next time. And until then, much aloha, much love. Walk in the light, stay in love, continue to be filled with gratitude, relaxing yourself and in the acceptance of just the light pouring out on you, praising the creation, respecting the creation, loving the creation. We're so close to it. Human beings, us, we are so close to it. And next time, we're just so connected to Mama Earth in the deepest way. So honor the creation. Happy Mother's Day. This is one of them Southern goodbyes Adrian talks about. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the chat. I hope that your families are doing special things for you, and that whatever they're doing for you today, that they will carry it forward. Good night to each and every one of you. Thank you for coming on, and I will see you on Wednesday at about 7. Okay? You enjoy this day that we're coming upon. Yeah, we've got about an hour. It'll be a new day. All righty. See you later. Bye-bye.